The piece begins with a melody which I've had kind of swimming around in my head since I was in college. It's lyrical, easy to remember, but also has a sort of irregular rhythmic structure to it. And I'll play it here. And harmonized, it sounds like this. So that's the opening of the piece, and that melody is made of several independent motives, but the first of those becomes very important in the rest of the piece, especially in the last movement. If you sort of simplify that rhythm becomes sort of obsessively at the heart of the third movement, which is all about rhythm. The second movement is very unusual in that it is based on the slow movement of Mozart's Concerto K467, a piano concerto, often called Elvira Madigan because of its use in a film of that name in the 70s. That sounds like this. Etc. And it's hard for me to describe how I made use of this beautiful music. I guess I sort of tried to live within it during the composition of this piece. It's music that I've always been obsessed with because it's so simple. It's built of almost nothing. There's a melody in the foreground, and then there's this sort of pulse of triplets, which provides the harmony, and then a simple bass line played pizzicato by the cellos and basses. And really those three elements are sustained without much variation through the entire, I would say, 8-9 minutes of the movement. Yet he's able to traverse all these different emotional territories. And so for that reason, it's just sort of astonishing to me, and something that I've always had in my head and I carry with me as I compose. The third movement is very fast and very energetic and makes use of this motive from the melody of the first movement. This it begins like this. So there's a pulse that goes along with that, which sort of gives you a different context for where those rhythmic motives fall as the piece goes on. But that rhythmic idea is pretty consistent throughout the movement, and sometimes it's sort of sinister and kind of wicked, and sometimes it's very wholesome and lyrical, but it's always there. And in fact, it sort of it moves into a groove toward the end with that rhythmic motive at the very heart of it. And this piece is very special to me because it is the first time I've written anything substantial for the flute. It's interesting that there's this connection to Mozart in the second movement. Mozart was known to dislike the flute, and I actually don't feel the way he did. I think the flute is a marvelous instrument which is capable of so many different colors, sort of a dark soulfulness in its lower register, and of course it's tremendously agile, and I'm very excited to work with Adam Walker and to hear this piece of Cabrillo.